This Lumpy Shinobi production is brought to you by Grinding Coffee Company. Use code Lumpy at checkout for 10% off. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Lumpy Shinobi podcast. And today, whose name I'm probably going to get completely wrong, we have Blushie Fae.
Yeah, that's it. That's me, Blushie
Awesome.
Fae.
Awesome. I know Blushie Fae by another name that when this podcast did exist before, we saw her as a actual IRL true being, but now she is a VTuber, and I'm not going to mention her previous name. But I have the courtesy of knowing her in both forms of Blushie. How are you doing today, Blushie?
I am good. It's a good day. I just was, working on content creation things before coming to the call.
Okay. Since I do know you in both forms, I get to ask this awesome question that a lot of you don't hear a lot of YouTubers really talk about it. They just talk about the new forms. But going from being on camera, a being on camera creator to a VTuber, could you describe that change from and the decision to go from being being on camera creator to a VTuber?
Yeah, so for me, it was a very smooth transition, I feel like, because I have a theater background and I really enjoy acting. And I've always had a kind of just I don't know, the way I talk is kind of like like voice acting a character. I just feel like when I was doing streaming before with my face cam, I still kind of had the same personality and told the same jokes almost and would make little voices and stuff when I would stream before. And I just feel like it really transferred well into becoming a VTuber. I decided to change basically because of that. I thought it would be a great way to use my acting skills and voice acting skills with my own character. And I also really like not having to get fully prepared for a work day. Like no one will see if I didn't brush my hair or something.
Yeah, you don't have to really be on makeup. You
Mhm.
can wear, what you want. You don't have to be completely 100% presentable. You can just be what you wear in your home.
Yeah.
And not have to worry about oh, if are people watching me.
Right, which I know people don't have to wear makeup to stream or anything like that. You totally don't have to.
No.
It's just I always felt like I did, so that's what I would do.
Well, some people feel I've learned in the past. Some people just feel like makeup is just the natural thing to do. When they
Mhm.
do anything in life, they wake up in the morning, the first thing to do is to wash their face, put the makeup on.
Yeah.
And but now what is the going from camera creator to basically VTuber? Uh, First off, is there a thing that is called in the VTuber community, going from being on camera to being a VTuber? Is that a certain transition? Is it called a certain thing in the VTuber community?
Oh, you know what? I'm okay. I'm not exactly sure if the act of doing that is a thing, but what some VTubers will mention is past lives. I've seen them use the
Ah,
term past lives, and it's usually more so for when a VTuber that's an indie VTuber, like myself or someone else, joins a corporation. The corporation usually asks them to graduate as their former self and put that all behind them and either private their account or delete all the stuff from their previous account, and then they call it a past life. But, um, pretty much the VTuber community is the only one that, uses that term when they refer to VTubers that they recognize become corporate VTubers, if that makes sense. Like, if I was to become a corporate VTuber and uh, I had a new name like Orange Slice or something like that. I was debuting in a corporation as Orange Slice. Then, like, if people recognize my voice and the way that I acted, they'd be like, "Oh, I think that's past life Blushie," or like they might, out of respect, not even mention that they knew who I was before, because as a corporate VTuber, you're not like allowed to address who you were before, pretty much.
Right. So like I know past life Blushie, basically.
Yeah, 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 I guess you could say that, yeah.
Oh, I mean, cool. I know both versions of Blushie. I'm talking about. Anyway. Now, doing the whole trend, going from past life to current Blushie, what has the positive effects have been in, say, content growth or in general?
I always like to bring up that I feel like I was kind of now this is just me though, this might not be everyone, but I felt more isolated as a face cam streamer. I felt like I couldn't really find as many people to connect with on content creation. Like, I mean, there was you, and then there was the community that we used to be in before, right? And everybody was like kind of like friends there. But that's like really the only like content creators I ever was able to like reach out to and talk to. And I found as a VTuber, it's been easier to collaborate with people and talk to people and become friends with people. I don't know why that is. I mean, maybe because we all can't see what each other looks like, which seems weird, but like maybe that's it. Um, Other positive things are I feel like my voice really fits like playing a character. And so it's been easier for me to make content around that and make like my um like gameplay clip videos based around that and any videos for YouTube.
I feel that because even going from, I don't do it all the time. There's times that I still go on camera, as Lumpy Shinobi. I didn't change my name to anything like that. But I do feel sometimes being the panda that I am right now in this video
Mhm.
and this podcast for those that cannot see, or just listening basically on audio. I'm a
Mhm.
panda in this form. I do
Mhm.
find it easier. It feels kind of more relaxed in a way, just like to set everything up to just be the panda, and I don't have to worry about being on camera or anything, or how's my
Yeah.
back of my room look or anything like that. Um, what what has there any been? Uh, if you don't wish to talk about this, it's fine. But has there been any negative effects that has come to transforming into a VTuber?
Yeah, so I feel like in a way there has been it's a weird way to answer this, I guess, but in a way I've found that there is more pressure to be in the VTuber community, but only if you are letting there be more pressure, if that makes sense. So there's
Like more pressure to like to see now that you like invested this money into like say a model, stuff like that. Like it's like a big investment to be like to get eh, a non like PNG model like mine is, you know, in that kind of way.
Mhm. Um, no, I don't think in that way. I think, for example, like, I quite recently have decided to, like, not care about VTuber standards as much, um, because I feel like people who are newer to, like, VTubing, they are pressured to have a fancier model or think that they need one, or think that they have to make certain content to be a VTuber or act a certain way or be fully a part of the community to be a VTuber. But I think that VTubing it's getting so much more vast now that there's kind of different communities inside of the VTuber community. And you're only gonna feel like negative effects if you like let them be negative. Um I I don't know. I guess um like for me there was pressure to be like, okay, if you're going to be a VTuber, you have to do it this way and have your whole brand and have everything match it and have lore and have all these things. But you actually don't have to. That's just what a lot of the corporations are doing, and other big VTubers are doing that, but you actually don't have to have that, if that makes sense.
Well, so while we're talking about what like a VTuber needs and stuff like that, what advice would you give to someone that is thinking about getting into VTubing? Well, what happened? Oh,
Oh my
oh
gosh,
no,
I'm
you're
so
fine. No,
sorry.
you're fine. You're fine. I was more concerned about you. Like what happened? I thought your model was like glitching out or something like that.
No, I accidentally scrolled down and it
Oh.
made her smaller. My bad.
uh,
You can cut that later if you
nah,
want.
it's fine. I'm going to keep it in. I'm keeping that in. What are you talking about? That's content right there. When something messes up, is the best content. Um, but what would
That is a
you?
struggle. That right there is a struggle. You never know what your model's gonna do.
I'll say that one time mine like completely disappeared. I was like, what is it? What happened?
Oh
I
no.
accidentally closed down like the software by accident. I didn't even notice I did it.
Mm, yeah.
So, given that you were just talking about things for like newer VTubers, what advice, what like a person like thinking about it is like they've been thinking about it for a while. They're kind of on the fence about VTubing and stuff like that. What advice would you give somebody like brand new, thinking about brand new, like
Yeah.
they have like a little money to spend on it, like, or they've been saving up. Like, what would you tell somebody? Like, what would
Yeah.
be the first advice you would give to them? Really?
So I guess it depends. Like there's a couple different routes you could go. Like if you have the money, you could start out by buying your own custom design and then taking that custom design to an artist and then paying that artist and then getting a rigger to rig the model too. Um, but that's like a more pricey route, of course. I just feel like for people who are just starting out, um, the first thing that you might want to figure out is if you're going to do it as a hobby and you're just doing it for fun and just trying it out, or if you are eventually going to like have it be more like career or business based. I think it's better if you can figure that out in the beginning. It's okay to totally switch from like having it be career oriented to swapping back over to hobby later or hobby to more career oriented. But the more that you're able to like figure out in the beginning, it's just gonna help you more later on. Not saying that you can't just take your time or something. But the reason I say that is because something with VTubers is you usually have like a character, and not that you have to play that character, but you're going to be using that design and character. So pick something that you kind of like in the beginning, and you can always switch it later because there are free VTuber models out there that you can try. There was one that launched a couple days ago, actually. I saw it scrolling through Twitter. That's now X. There was a artist that launched a pre-made VTuber model, and it's like a pink cat girl, and I think it was like only $50, and it was fully rigged. It had even more like rigging features than like even my model does, and you could get something like that just to start out with, and go from there and then kind of like learn about your brand and take it slower. But finding your like brand and niche sooner than later is really, really going to help you out in the long run. I think for anybody that's trying to start up becoming a VTuber. It's just good to know about what interests you and what direction you might want to take. And then there's tons of like free assets or low cost assets if um like money is tight, you know? Um and I also think that it's very important to do your research about the VTuber community to sort of at least know like what VTubers usually do, if that makes sense.
Where would be a good place to say uh look at the VTuber community? Like, what platform would you recommend them like to watch or read, or like where would be a good
Oh,
source?
okay. Well, um, for me, um, I usually learn about the VTuber community by looking at those who are prominent figures in the VTuber community. So looking at um like indie VTubers who are really, really big, and then also looking at corporate VTubers who are really, really big, and then kind of looking at the difference between the content they make and the difference between how they interact with their communities. Uh there is a difference between that. So that's kinda like how I learned and did my research. And then, like, on the technical side, I went to YouTube and would just look up everything. Like, you know how, like, uh, if you're just, like, a regular, like, face cam streamer, you'll, like, look up how to set up a Discord server, how to set up whatever, right?
Yep.
Like, I do that, but then I search it as a VTuber or I put VTuber in it. So then there's usually a video where a VTuber is, like, teaching it to me, and then I can learn how to set it up for a VTuber with, like, a model, and, I also watch, like, other VTubers who are big. I try to study, like, the content that they make, to try and get, like, my own style, if that makes sense, as a VTuber.
Yeah, like
I
an assessment.
yeah,
Like like
yeah,
you're seeing them and you're like, okay, well they do this and they do this. Oh, they have that, like that kind of alert that kind of matches their whole aesthetic and everything like that. Kind of like how just
yeah,
anybody be watching like a regular streamer and taking notes of what
right.
they're doing. Oh, I like that alert. It works perfectly with their stream and stuff like that. Maybe I should do something not exactly like that, but something like that in a way. So you can get
Yeah,
ideas off of them.
and one last thing, unfortunately, there is, a lot of stuff to weed through on, Twitter or X, whatever you wanna call it now. There's, like, a lot of stuff to weed through on there
Elon's
that
playground.
yeah, yeah, yeah. There's so much to weed through on there, but if you set up a VTuber account and then you start following VTubers, your feed, like, turns into nothing but VTuber stuff, and you'll like, if you just, like, mute words that you don't wanna see, like drama words or, like, negative words, then, like, you'll be able to see, you'll be able to learn so much from the VTuber community. Like, you'll see artists people commission, you'll see graphic artists people commission, and that's, like, my biggest resource for finding anything for VTubers. Like, everything is on there. Um, and then, of course, VTubers are branching out to, like, other platforms to sell their art, such as VGen, and, yeah, but that's where you can get, like, that's where the community is, the most lively, as much as people don't like it there.
Okay, since you was talking about other VTubers, who is just on aesthetic wise, who is like your favorite creator's like model? Like just aesthetic wise.
Ooh, my favorite creator's model.
Yeah, besides obviously you love your own, but
Yeah. Model-wise, like, from design and, like,
yeah.
all
Oh,
that stuff?
yeah, the aesthetic of their model. And even
Oh
even you can
gosh.
even like what they put as like the background when they're just chatting and stuff like that if you want to. You know.
Yeah, so okay, I might mention 2 maybe, but, like, my top favorite one is, Sarue.
Hmm.
She's an artist herself, and I believe that she did draw her own VTuber model, and I love the art style of it. It's kind of, um, not like it's kinda edgy, but, like, really cute, if that makes sense.
Like edgy
Um
how? Edgy how?
Like, I know, it's hard to explain. So, in a way, it's almost like cyberpunk, but it's not. It's kinda just like she's like, a military not military, but like oh my gosh, I can't explain it unless you see, like, a picture of her. Oh, man, I should have brought a picture, huh? Um,
So like a
it's not like
cyberpunk, like military style, basically.
yeah, like I can't remember her lore exactly, but it's not that she was an experiment, but she was, like, part of, like, the military in a different time or something, and then I can't remember what happened exactly, but she got, like, excommunicated from them or something. I can't remember. Oh, man, if she ever sees this, I'm so sorry, Sarwe. I'm so sorry. Her lore is so cool, and her model's just really, really cool, and it had like, she has, like, a tail, and I like dragon tails and stuff, so she's got, like, a tail, but she also has a cat version, and she has, like, these, like, kinda metal and like, they're kinda tech wear in a way. She's got, like, metal horns on her head, and I don't know, she's just my favorite. Um, I also really like, sea VTubers that are like sea creatures. So I really like Shy Lily's model.
Yeah,
Again, she has like a big tail that comes behind her
I,
and
I
wags and stuff.
I think I've seen Shy
Yeah.
Lily. Yeah, I think I've seen Shy Lily. Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess I kinda like models that, um, I don't know, they just have, like, one thing about them that, like, either, like, wags behind them or, like, maybe they have some cute horns on their head or, like, ears or something, like that. Those are my favorite ones. Yeah, and I like their color palettes are really nice. They're, like, totally not my color palette at all, like like, they're, like, more cool tones and darker tones. Um, yeah.
Well, speaking of horns and tails and ears, could you describe where the idea came up for your current model?
Yeah, yeah. So, I am a mischievous Fae dragon VTuber, and so I had like a list of all these like characters or creatures that I would choose from, and I narrowed it down to either a dragon or a pink red panda, and I ended up being a pink dragon girl with I got this toggle for these like they everyone calls them cat ears, but that's okay because it's like an easy mistake. But like I guess the fun fact is that I had sent the artist, red panda ears and asked them to make them red panda shaped, so, like, I can take them on and off. But they're there because I couldn't decide between, like, fairy or elf ears and, like, the cute fuzzy ones, so I just got both because I could, why not? Um, yeah, and so the reason why I narrowed it down to, like, a dragon is because I do really love fantasy characters. And my outfit was inspired by Naui from Fire Emblem,
Right.
and yeah, I don't know, I just, I wanted to be a dragon because I wanted to also have a tail wag behind me because I think that's cute when models have wagging tails behind them.
Does the wagging tail like, I don't know, does it like imbue like any kind of special powers or anything like that in the book? Yeah.
No! No, but, like, in the lore that I was trying to make for myself I'm not very good at lore, and I don't think you have to have lore to be a VTuber, but it is fun, but I'm not too great at it. But the lore is that, like, I'm a fey dragon who lives alone in the forest, and I do practice magic. So like, I mean, I guess I could call myself a magic dragon instead of a fae dragon. It's like, you know, whatever you want to do, right? But like I kind of just was like, I'll be like a magic fae dragon and I'll practice magic. And so like that's why my horns glow. I also have like a way to turn off the glow for them. Um, but yeah, no, my tail doesn't have any magic or anything. It's just fluffy.
Just fluffy and wags. That's cool.
Yeah.
That- don't worry, we humans, or I guess I'm a panda right now. We like wagging tails. Well, except for a panda, we don't have wagging tails, do we? Hmm.
Oh, I guess not.
Oh, damn, we don't. But anyway, so a little off topic from the VTuber talks, but you currently have been streaming on Twitch, on TikTok, YouTube, Kick. As a person that is doing probably the most correct thing as a content creator and basically expanding your content to whatever platform you can reach to, how's it been doing that? Like in the terms of like has streaming and posting content on like say TikTok been helping the Twitch or stuff like that?
Oh, 100% it has. So when I first got my big boost of growth, it was I think earlier this year. Yeah, I want to say it was earlier this year. And I don't think I had even debuted this pink model yet. I might have, but I don't think I did. Cause like I think if you look at my TikTok, there's like not very many videos of my like short form content. There's not very many short form content videos of my pink model. Cause like I'm still like editing clips from my other one. And
Yeah.
like what happened was is like earlier this year, I got my first boost of growth on Twitch because I am not kidding you. I was uploading 2 TikToks a day. One in the morning around like 8 a.m. my time, and then I would do one in the evening at around 5 p.m. my time. And people were just following me like crazy on TikTok because of it. And then they would click my link in my bio that I made directly to my Twitch account, and like I would um like wake up in the morning and overnight people had followed my Twitch because of me posting onto TikTok. Like I had never really talked about it, but like there were like mornings where I would post them and overnight I would have gotten like 40 followers on Twitch from it.
Wow.
And yeah, and I mean I know that's like whatever for some people, but like it was like really big for me because I hadn't really ever experienced that before. And so
For streamers just
um
starting, 40 followers overnight is like a gold mine, honestly.
yeah, yeah. And so yeah, it was big for me, you know? Like that was really cool. Um and yeah, so like Twitch doesn't let you multi-stream to other platforms, and that's like so unfortunate, but they do let you multi-stream to TikTok.
Yep.
Um so I've been doing that, and it has just like greatly helped me. I mean, I think my stream probably looks a little laggy and pixely cuz like I don't have some like beefed up PC to do it. I mean, I don't really know what it looks like. I don't know if it looks pixely when I'm doing it, but I assume it does. But it's only greatly helped me because while I'm live on TikTok, they'll ask me in the TikTok chat, they'll say, "Are you live on Twitch?" And I'll tell them, "Yeah." And then some of them come over and then they start following me there. Um, and it's also only helped me because I was able to be monetized on TikTok. So now I have a little bit of revenue coming in from TikTok. And that's what's like so sad about like Twitch not letting me multi-stream to YouTube. I like it sucks so much because like they're literally limiting creators' money flow, and it's really sad. Like I still need 3,000 watch time hours on YouTube to get monetized over there, and like it's taken me forever because I can't multi-stream when I'm on Twitch, but I can't stop streaming entirely on Twitch because that's where all my revenue is coming from. You
Right.
see? Like it's just wild right now, but I say as much short form content as you can get onto like Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, it's just really gonna help you.
Yeah, I feel. I mean, we should have known this like when Vine was a thing, but we didn't expect. The first time I heard about TikTok, it was just like this thing going around, and then I finally downloaded it to my uh phone, and I was like, oh snap, this is just Vine 2.0, and
Mhm.
it's been popping off over like now we don't even talk of thing about things on YouTube or anything anymore. We talk about things that are going off on TikTok. You know, I mean, we do talk about some
Mhm.
things that go on YouTube, but so TikTok is like this amazing thing, and I know, and it's been clearly shown, and not to get too political, but when the CEO of TikTok was in Washington explaining TikTok to our government, it was the most hilarious thing. Just like the way he was looking at Congress as he answered his questions, because you could just tell these were just people that didn't even like look at this thing or never experienced
Oh.
Vine. You know?
Yeah, I think a lot of people don't really understand how powerful it is to get your content out there to as many platforms as possible, and the short form content is just really it's really going right now.
Yeah. Like
Um you just gotta do it. And a lot of content creators have been talking about that for like the past year and a half now or 2 years. Like they've been pushing more and more. Like if you look up tutorial videos on like how to grow and stuff, they're like all yelling to do this. And I see more and more people starting to do it. And so like now's the time to like hurry up and do it. But I also see a lot of people not doing it yet. So I don't know. I'm just trying whatever I can cuz like I just feel like it's now or never for me. Like the sky's the limit. I better just do it all.
yeah, I feel that way too. I feel like you one something could blow up, like one platform can blow up over the other one. Like you said,
Yeah.
you know, one day your YouTube stream from the other day could push you over that 3,000 views limit. You know what I'm saying? Like it could just be just that one video, and you never know. Or TikTok, you're already streaming on there, and I think you need like 1,000 followers to stream on TikTok.
Yeah, and I got I got that by uploading 2 TikToks a day.
You know?
And it was so hard because I had to sit down at my PC and I had to edit out all of these shorts. And I know that, like, here's another good tip. I know that in the beginning, you're going to want to like do quality over quantity because you're going to want stuff to like look good, you know? You're going to want to. And like, I did that too. Like, I wanted stuff to look quality. And one day I was like, what would happen if I just did quantity over quality? I wanna know what would happen. And so I just sat down and, like, made a bunch of, like, short form content videos to go onto TikTok, and I didn't edit them to look all quality. I just was like, "Forget it. I'm just gonna, like, start pushing it out and hope the algorithm grabs it," I guess, and it worked. So, like, I just feel like and I did it on YouTube too. I stopped caring about how good I edited my clips for YouTube, and I just did quantity over quality, and some of them got, like, 1.4K views, and then I ended up with 1,000 subscribers over there. So, like, don't worry about the quality in the beginning if you can't edit as good as someone else or something. Just get the stuff up there because it's not getting seen if it's not up there, you know?
You know, you just said something interesting, because you just said like the reverse of what, like, you know, every, you know, like streamer that gives advice says. They say put quality over quantity. But you just said the different, you said
I
the reverse
know.
of that, which is
Yeah, I
actually, no,
know.
it's actually pretty interesting to hear doing
It's
that.
really weird.
But
It's
now,
really weird,
but
but it worked for me.
but no, I'm thinking of, I'm when you said that, I was like, wait a minute, she might have a point. Because if you, at least at the beginning of, say, your creator career, if you put out quantity and something of that quantity catches, you know that particular thing is, it is working. Especially if it
Mhm.
especially if you do it again, like even in the next quantity that you put out, like say you do certain something, say you do certain something that you put out, okay, some kind of content that you put out, and you just add it to, like, say, next week's bundle of quantity of the clips that you're going to release 2 times a day,
Mhm.
and it the same thing that you intentionally put into that quantity catches on again, you're now starting to figure out that that works, and then you can focus
Yeah.
more on that, and that is your quality.
Yeah, and also, like, definitely still 'cause okay, so, like, I edit my own videos, and so, like, even
Right.
while I was doing that, I was still constantly, like, researching how to better edit my videos
Same
so I
here.
can start yeah, so I can start putting in the quality later. Like, I still wanna improve, right? Like, I'm not gonna just do, like, quantity stuff forever, but, like, I just think in the beginning, you just gotta, like, do it.
Oh,
Like, you just gotta do it.
hey, just like 2 weeks ago, I found out how to put that gift in that sounds off to subscribe to a video that you see in so many YouTubers. I just learned that like last week. I've been a content creator
Oh.
for like over 6 years now.
I
I
is that
just
the you do you mean the little, like, pop-up image that
yeah, that
sho
goes ding ding and hits the bell and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's basically saying subscribe without you saying having to say, oh, please like like, comment and subscribe.
Yeah, there's assets you can get for that. I
Yeah, but I didn't
think I have
know
a
that
couple
until,
of
like,
them.
I didn't know how to put it in my editing until, like, a week ago through, like, a YouTube video.
Oh, okay, yeah. I'm literally, like, I don't know, people think content creators are just doing nothing all day. I literally am watching probably, like, 3 tutorial videos a week at least on learning how to do stuff. Like, I'm gonna pretty soon do my first, like, VTuber karaoke stream with,
Mhm.
like, this program called Shoost, and then I have to learn how to set all that up, and then I have to learn how to set it up in OBS. Like, I have to watch probably, like, 3 videos just to get that to set up. Like, I'm constantly researching.
Mhm. Okay, this is gonna be the last question of this podcast.
Okay.
Um, recently you just joined a independent or indie VTuber group.
Yeah.
It's kind of two-part question, even though the first part's gonna be kind of easy to answer. So there's corporate YouTubers, as in YouTubers that specifically work for a company. Usually you'll see them more in Asian countries, say like Japan, South Korea, stuff like that. Even though I think there's some American ones, but could you
Yeah, there
explain?
are.
Yeah, could you explain the major difference between being in well, not being in, but the major difference between a corporate and an indie YouTuber group, a VTuber group. I said YouTuber. Wow, I'm
Yeah.
leaving that in though. Um, and also, what it's like. What has the experience so far been for you joining an indie VTuber group?
Yeah, so the corporate VTuber groups are completely different. Um, they're like a whole 'nother beast, if that makes sense,
Yeah,
of, like,
makes
the
sense.
VTuber world. So what happens with those is you do things, called auditions, and you have to audition for those corporations, and then they look over your application, and if they like it, they contact you, and then they do an interview with you over, like, voice chat, and then if you go further into the interview processes, they usually have you, like, do mock collabs or a mock stream where you, like, just stream a private game stream with, like, a couple other people who, like, are going for the same position, um, stuff like that. It varies between the companies, but what that is, the corporation will provide you with a model and provide you with assets and things, and then I've heard that some of them pay you, like, a salary, and then any revenue that you bring in, they also take a cut from it, but then I've heard that some of them don't pay you a salary, and then you just stream under their corporation, and then they still take a cut.
Right.
Um, Idle EN made their cut public, and I think that the content creators get 60%. of the revenue, but like that's already after the revenue goes through YouTube's cut.
Uh,
Yeah, it's really interesting, and that's, like, more like a business, like, corporate thing, and you, like, have coworkers that are, like, in your VTuber generation, and that's what they call them, like, Gen 1, Gen 2, like, they're, like, your coworkers that you, like, work with and stream with and collab with. Indie VTuber groups, I've noticed like a couple VTubers get together and they're like, we want to start an indie VTuber group. And so we're going to host applications for it. Cause we want to like make friends with some other VTubers and help each other grow. And so we want to find like-minded VTubers to join our indie VTuber group. And so we're going to do applications and then they can interview you too. And then they send out their acceptance letters when they send them out and
mhm.
basically, you all are just an indie VTuber group. There's no payment at all. Uh, y'all just keep doing your thing and making your own money. But like certain indie VTuber groups, they can decide like, hey, we want to get this certain art piece of all of our talents. Can you donate this much money towards it? Or hey, we want to do a collab together. And so then you're in like an indie VTuber group, so you have like a set like bunch of like friends and other people in your group that you can always collab with if you need to. You just kind of support each other and promote each other under your like indie VTuber name. And uh I like it because for me, it has given me more opportunities as a VTuber to make connections with more people. And also, uh, it helps look a bit more professional for like branding and stuff. And other brands start to like kind of reach out to you because of that. And yeah, I think they're the most fun because um, I don't know. I think they have like you don't have like I don't have a contract or anything for the one that I'm in, but like a
Yeah,
corporation, you
it's
have a
more like
contract.
friends, just like
Yeah.
VTuber friends, but we're just trying to help each other. Like like a kind of like a college group, in a way, like
Oh,
college
yeah,
study
I
group.
see what you're saying.
Yeah, like we're just helping each other to make it to like a level, and
Mhm.
you know, the more we help each other, the better.
Yeah, while still like trying to make a positive impact overall in the VTuber community too.
Right? Yeah. Okay. That's Blushy. Thank you so much for being here and being on this podcast.
Yeah.
That though nobody really knows how long it took to get this together, we finally made it.
Yeah.
If you would like to tell people where they can find you all over the interwebs, and we'll end it on that.
Okay, so on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, I'm Blushie Fae on there. And then Instagram, I'm Blushie Fae VT for VTuber because Blushie Fae was taken. Twitch, I'm Blushie Fae. YouTube, Blushie Fae. Kick, just Blushie because it wasn't taken yet. And then Blushie Fae on TikTok. I don't know if I repeated any of them. There's so many socials now. I have no clue.
No
Um,
problem. By the way, everybody watching on YouTube, it will be down there in the description. Uh, those listening on Spotify or any of the other podcasts, uh, I'll find a way to put those into the description. Oh,
Yay!
so thank you for being here, Blushy. For everybody else listening, thank you for listening to the Lumpy Shinobi podcast, and see you next time. Bye.
Bye!